Hello and welcome to day 2 of Kavi's Corner. We are in Australia, as I'm sure you're aware, for the maiden Grand Slam of the 2023 season. Now, I learned yesterday that there is a common phrase in Australia. Now, if you're from Australia and if I'm wrong, you can correct me in the comments. But I heard that they say 4 seasons in a day is a common phrase in Australia, which means they see a little bit of each season in the day. And that's exactly what happened in day 2 of the Australian Open. We had a several-hour heat delay, and then, believe it or not, followed by several rain delays. So it went up to 37 degrees Celsius around 2 p.m. or just before in Australia, local time. And then we had basically huge delays over 90 minutes, almost 2 hours for several of the matches. Then when the matches came back on, it got all wet. So very interesting day in Australia. So here I'm going to actually get into some tweets real quick. And this one pertains exactly to that heat/cold watery wave that Australia felt yesterday. This is from Latchy Buzzard. It says, as a former ball boy at the Australian Open, these are the days you hate. As you know, your shift is going to go long into the evening due to the delays, and you need to plan B to get home. #tired legs. You start barracking for straight sets games to get your court finished ASAP. #Australian Open. So that's just a little taste of some of the weather action going on in Australia. Now we're going to get into the tennis, and we're going to kick it off with the story of the day. He's one man. He goes by the name of Andy Murray. Huge 5-set victory over Matteo Berrettini, one of the biggest upsets, if you want to call it that, so far of the tournament. Andy Murray says, thanks to everyone for all the kind messages. We left it all out there. Hope you enjoyed the show. True showman, classy fellow, and 5-time finalist here. So he's got all the respect, got all the love from the crowd, and they were loving it. It was a great match. I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth. And real quick here, oopsie, just gonna go and check out his buddy just underneath. It says from Juan Martin del Potro. It says, what a warrior, my friend. Thank you for showing us you never gave up. And a little bit more Murray love coming from the brotherly love, Andy effing Murray with a heart icon. So you got to love it. That's the family. You got Mother Judy's was in the crowd on her feet clapping in that tie break in the 5th set. Great atmosphere and a great show put on by the Brit and the Italian. All right. So after I did the first Cubby's Corner yesterday, a couple people hit me up and said, Cov, you mentioned the Tiafo kit, but you did not mention the best kit. And I think I've been served, because this is an absolutely nasty kit. And when I say nasty, I mean like nasty good, because I'm a hip hop guy. So check this out. We've got the classy black headband. Okay. We've got the blue and reddish orange top, the blue collars. I love the collars. She's always got these flailing collars. And then she pays homage to her her home country, Latvia, with the hey, there we go. She's got the wristband with the Latvian colors. I love that. Also, the black belt there, also very classy style. She looks like Supergirl. So yeah, Yelena Ostapenko, aka Supergirl, killing it. Kit style always does kill it. Actually, she's got her own unique style. If you follow her, you know what is up. All right, so real quick, we're not gonna dissect the former world #1 and 9-time Aussie Open champion, because he had a pretty routine victory. But Amy Lundy Dahl says Novak has decided this will be a crush AO, bang, Australian Open flag, #AO23. I've never seen Djokovic hit this hard. I was actually up really late till about 3:30, and this match was beginning. So I kind of fell asleep with this on, woke up a couple of times, and I swear every time I woke up, the commentators were gushing over Djokovic. Never seen him hit this hard. Never seen him hit this accurate. A phenomenal movement. which obviously he's one of the greatest movers ever. Anyways, so yeah, there's that. So yeah, that is a state of Djokovic. I'm just gonna real quick, gonna look through the comments and see if I could just quickly say hi to anyone. Gene says, great win for Murray, even though I don't like him. Hey, you gotta love it. He's an honest man, that Gene. And Michael Walker says, Andy Murray is the new bionic man. Very nice. Love it. Love it. Hey, Mike, there's another comment that I'm not going to put. Not very nice. Talking about Ostapenko. We're not going to go there. Okay, so those are a couple of comments. Now I'm going to get back to, where was I, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, I am going to show you now. I'm going to get back into it. And we're going to go on to the man that I picked to win the men's side. So this is from Jose Morgado. It says, Taylor Fritz hit 32 aces today. That is a boatload. He wins in 4 sets over Nikolai Basilashvili of Georgia. So finish off the tweet, says, think he got a very good chance / draw for a first slam semifinal. And as we all know, after a disappointing Australian Open, he actually had a chance to go to his first semi against Rafa, but lost in 5 sets at Wimbledon. That was actually right before Rafa pulled out of Wimbledon. All right, moving on now to former world number 1 and struggling Spaniard. Garbiñe Mugurutha lost. So here we go. AO round 1. This is from Tennis Updates. Mertens wins 3-6, 7-6, 6-1 against Mugurutha. Mugurutha served for the match in the second set, just as she did against Bianca Andreescu in the lead-up tournaments, and then says, got broken and never recovered. And this is becoming a theme, unfortunately. 19 unforced errors in the final set. So something is going on in the cranium over there of Mugurutha. Let's hope she can overcome it. I mean, she's a major champion. She's a former number 1, and you like to see players. I mean, I'm not saying she's not going to be around for a while, but you want them to be around and you want them to be able to keep a certain level. So let's see how that goes. But congrats to the German Mertens. Okay, moving on. Here we go. I'm going to do a little more in-depth recap of this one. I actually called this match last night for me. Shaky Jabeur survives first round test at Australian Open. So it was a really nice match, really tight match. And it was a really enjoyable match as well. So we'll go over that a little bit more. But first, got a couple more tweets to get through. The first one is, perfect day for the USA. So this is from @USA Tennis Dude. Day 2 are round 1 results from the 2023 Australian Open. Fritz defeats Basilashvili in 4. JJ Wolf defeats Thompson in 4. Brooksby defeats O'Connell in 4. Tommy Paul defeats Jan-Lennard Struff in 3. And debut for the youngster, Ben Shelton, defeats Zhang in 5. So 5-0 in matches completed for the U.S. And I think suspended matches below. Just real quick, there were 5 matches that did not finish due to the weather conditions that I was mentioning earlier. And last but not least, a little shameless plug. If you want to follow me on Twitter, this is my handle @LoveLoveTennis. The O's are actually zeros because in tennis, 0 means love. Okay, so I don't know if you remember, but this is day 2 of what I call the 5-set frenzy. So I just basically am going to give you a little rundown on the 5-set matches of the day because I love 5-set matches. I think it's a testament to the physicality of the sport and also the shape that these players are in, especially in the these early rounds. So let's go here. We got the Aussie Popyrin defeating Seng 6-1 in the 5th set. Davidovich Fokina defeated Bublik. Now, I started that match, but it was delayed for over 2 hours, so we actually had to cut it off from the time it was suspended, and it became a different match because when I was doing that one, Davidovich Fokina won all but 10 points in the first set and got the first bagel that I got to see in this tournament, 6-love. And then Bublik held serve, or they both held the whole second set. And then it was 2-love Fokina in the third when I left it. So it looked like he was cruising, ready to just kind of end it right there. But no, he lost that set. And then he had to come back from a 2-1 deficit. So nice work there. Ben Shelton, we did mention that, defeated Zhang. So that's 4-6, 6-3, 6-2, 2-6, and 7-6 with a 10-4 score line in the fifth set in the super tiebreak. Murray Berrettini, going to go a little more in depth on that as well in a second, but real quick, 6-3, 6-3, 4-6, 6-7, 7-6 with a 10-6 super tiebreak score in Murray's favor. And another phenomenal match and the return of Alexander Zverev to major action after that brutal ankle injury. So he faced Peru's Jean Pablo Varillas and came back in that one. So it was 4-6, 6-1, 5-7, 7-6, 6-4. So it came back from 2-1 deficit there, and that fourth set tiebreak. That one had a lot of people buzzing on Twitter. I was kind of flipping back and forth while doing another match. And then TBC, meaning to be completed. We have American Mo versus Laurent Locoli of France. And that one is at 3-1 for the American in the fifth set. So that's what we have for the tweets and stuff. Now I'm going to move on and let you know some other cool stuff. And I'm actually even going to check the comments as well. So let's see what's going on here. We got Yugoslav saying, I cheer for Nadal. Attaboy, he's playing a little later on. We have, saw another one here. Michael Walker, Francis Tiafoe or Medvedev in the semis. Okay. Some predictions coming up already. So you think Tiafoe... Yeah, well, they're in the... Tiafoe has a chance against Rafa coming up, and Medvedev is on the bottom of that. Okay. Yeah, let's see what happens. That would be a pretty sweet semi, though. Okay, I'm going to get back into the... All right, so now I'm going to go into a little bit more in depth of the Berrettini-Murray match, okay? So basically it went like this. Murray, gangbusters, comes out of the blocks, 6-3, 6-3, to just steamrolling, not steamrolling, but I mean it's when it takes a break and rolls through each of the first two sets. Now it got a little bit tense in the fourth set. In the third set, I should say, Berrettini comes back. The fourth set was where it got really interesting. So that one went to a tie break, and there was a moment, I believe it was like 2-3. Again, so much tennis going on in my brain. I'm trying to recall the exact play. Anyways, there was a big moment early in that tie break where Murray had a chance, couldn't convert it. So it does end up going to a fifth set. And you kind of felt like Berrettini, after coming back, a little bit younger, even though he's not the greatest mover, a little bit younger, and Murray's obviously has his metal hips. But the momentum, they just kept on holding. It was a phenomenal tennis. There were some big points. It was just big boy tennis, really big boy tennis. Berrettini, I don't like when he reverts to his backhand slice. He was doing that quite a bit, hit a bunch of them long, hit a bunch of them into the net. And I just honestly, sometimes it's better for him to run around the backhand than to hit that backhand. So it comes up after the hold city in the fifth set. We've got Murray jumps out to a 5-0 lead. And so pretty much it was never really in doubt from there. Ends up taking it 10-6 in the tie break, and the whole tennis world erupts. Everyone's going crazy because Sir Andy Murray does it again. The heart of a lion, that's what he's known for. And congrats to him. Congrats to his fans. And let's see if he can take this momentum into the next round. Okay, next match that I'm going to do a little dissection of, and a quick dissection, because Aryna Sabalenka is absolutely ripping the ball. She's on fire. She played Martincova, and she won 6-1, 6-4. Now, I didn't get to watch this whole match. I did watch the 8-minute highlight pack, and oh my heavens, her footwork is phenomenal. She's pounding the ball, and she's hitting with this looseness that I've never, ever seen before. Sabalenka had only 3 double faults, and she won 60. It was a very clean, tidy match. Only 100 points exactly. She won 60 of them. So she won 6 out of every 4 points. And so 6-1, 6-4. I think right now she is looking better than any other player on the female side that I've seen based on play and highlights that I've watched. So far, Sabalenka, to me, is the fittest or most in form, I should say, maybe not fittest, in form player. And obviously, she is obviously a fitness monster as well. So, we got a comment here from Go. Says, Kavi likes loose, powerful women. I feel you, dog. Hey, man, we got Supergirl / Superwoman Ostapenko. I'm a big fan of Sabalenka as well. Power hitter. There we go. Let's see. Gary St. Laurent, GSL, one of the all-stars for the GTL podcast fam. He says, no fear of Rafa on the part of Tiafoe. Doesn't mean he would win again, but it won't be it won't be because he's timid. Yeah, when you've beaten one of the big guys in the big tournament, that gives you confidence that you carry with you. Absolutely. Okay, the other match that we're going to do a quick little bit more of an in-depth dive is the Ons Jabeur versus Tamara Zidanchuk. It was actually a very, very good match. It went like this. First set was very tight. Ons Jabeur wins it 7-6. In a tie, 10-8 in a tiebreak is she won that one. Very crazy tiebreak. We actually even had Max, one of our GTL fam, guess the correct score, and she even got a free button out of it. How about that? So that's what it goes down on my streams. If you want free buttons, you can just guess and you can maybe get it. So congrats on Max to that one. So anyways, back to the match. So very tight first set. So basically it was 4-2 for Ons Jabeur in the first set. And then really quickly, right away, Zidanchuk was like, hey, I'm not going to let this slip away. Right away, breaks back and consolidates. And then from there, it was hold city until the tiebreak. And there was at least 2 to 3 set points for each players. Obviously, when you get to that level of tiebreak, it's a set point after every second point. So so that was pretty cool. Really good match up until that point. Second set, Zidanchuk basically said, you know what? I'm not losing in straight sets. Took a break early and just rode it all the way. Wins the second set 6-4. And then the final set was kind of the opposite of the second set, where Ons was like, you know what? I don't want this to get even close. So she breaks early and breaks a couple times and takes it 6-1. So in the end, the scoreline doesn't reflect how close it was with that third set score, but it was a very, very close affair. Back and forth, it was a slugfest. A couple shots from Zidanchuk and then a couple shots back from Ons Jabeur. Ons Jabeur also had a whole bunch of unforced errors, so she wasn't playing the cleanest match. As I said in the match, I think that if she was playing her game, it would have been done in 2 if she was like really on. But good players, great players have to learn to win matches when they're not their best, and that's exactly what she did. All right, y'all, I think we're getting close to the end of the second edition of Kavi's Corner. However, I do want to go over some other pretty big results. So real quick, just going to run these off. Belinda Bencic over Tomova in straight sets, and Bencic is also looking very, very good. 6-1, 6-2 there. Putintseva defeats Kirstea in 3 sets. Leila Andy Fernandez beats Alize Cornet in straight sets. Garcia defeats Canadian Zebov in straight sets, and Pliskova over Wang in straight sets. Men's side, Alex de Minaur wins against Su of Taiwan in 3 sets. Ruud defeats Muchak. Novak with an easy straight sets win over RBC Roberto Baena Carbeas. And then we had Holger Rune flying beats Krajinovic in straight sets. So that is the big matches from last night. And I'm going to end it up. Well, actually, I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to give you the popcorn matches. I'm going to give you the matches that we at GTL are going to be covering. And then I'm I'm going to go over the player of the day on the men's and the women's side, then we're going to call it. All right, y'all? So, real quick, on the men's side, these are the matches of note today. Felix Auger-Aliassime versus Alex Molchan. Nori versus Les Letienne. Korda versus Watanuki. So, JG, Watanuki's #1 fan, will definitely be watching that one. Sonego versus Hurkacz. That'll be a good one. Tiafo versus Shang. Lots of U.S. versus China matches on both sides of the draw. And this is an all-Dutch matchup with Greek Spoor versus Van de Zandschulp. I still have to learn that one. Okay, Medvedev versus Millman later on in the day, and Tsitsipas versus Rinky Hijikata, who is definitely on the Australian Open all-name team, and he's an Australian. All right, and then the final one, I didn't mention it until the end because this is the one that we're covering. Nadal versus Mackenzie McDonald, who won that 5-setter over Brandon Nakashima. So Nadal is back in action. And on the women's side, we have Zhang of Qinwen Zhang is going to be playing America's Para. We have Sloane Stephens versus Potapova, Madison Keys versus Wang. Again, American versus Chinese. Same with the Zhang versus Para. Haddad Maya will be facing Parizas Diaz. Pagula versus Sasnovich. Pagula. Okay, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but it's awesome. Swiatek, world #1 versus Osorio. Camila Osorio. Maria Sakkari versus Schneider. We have Rybakina versus Yuvan. We have Mukova versus Collins. That's going to be another big one. By the way, the Swiatek versus Osorio will be covered by us, GTL podcast. And so will this next one, which I'm thinking on paper, it's the match of the day. Britain's Emma Raducanu versus Coco Gauff of the United States. Couple of youngsters who have been in our field of vision for a while now. Phenomenal talents, and who will break through. So that's a real big match. Really excited for those. So that's what's going down on Game to Love. That's what's going down in general. And I'm just going to quickly show some love. So first, to our men's side player of the day, according to Kavi, in Kavi's Corner, day 2, player of the day. And by the way, thank you to Gary St. Laurent for this idea of player of the day. He gave it to us in the chat comments after the first Kavi's Corner, which was yesterday. So real quick, player of the day. Let's go. Yes, it's Andy Murray. I'm sure all of you guessed that. And based on my glowing praise of the one player in the in-depth match coverage, you might have guessed that my female player of the day was Aryna Sabalenka. Saba, 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 Sabalenka. Saba, 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 let's go Sabalenka. All right. So there we have it, folks. I'm just going to look up a couple of quick comments. GSL, Gary St. Laurent says, Kavi, don't ignore Linda F. Fruhvirtova and Camila Giorgi. She had, Camila Giorgi with an impressive straight sets win. The first couple rounds, there's just so many that we can't mention every single one, but those are definitely notables. And thank you for bringing that to our attention, Gary. And Gene saying, Saba, 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 Saba. All right, y'all, with that, I am going to be calling it for Kavi's Corner, day 2 from the Australian Open. Thank you all so much for tuning in and follow GTL. We've got, like I said, 3 matches up today. Swiatek, Osorio, Raducanu, Gauff, and Nadal McDonald. And then, of course, I will be back in about 24 hours' time with day 3 Kavi's Corner roundup at the Aussie Open. Take care, y'all. Peace.
It's Kavi's Corner. Give it a like. I said give it a like. Leave a little comment, share the video, and hit subscribe. That's right. It's your boy. Check out this other video.